Welcome to another video from Creativo Solutions. This is the start of my Google Home journey. This video is going to serve as a way to document the journey of learning more about Google Home in order for me to generate my own actions that can be used on the actual Google Home device. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to post them below and consider subscribing to this channel so you'll be the first to find out when new videos are uploaded. There's more information on the website, and consider following us on Instagram, Twitter, and keep watching the YouTube channel for more support. The third-party disclaimer: the material in this video is based on information, products, or services by third parties. Third-party materials comprise of the products and opinions expressed by the owners. As such, I do not assume responsibility or liability for any third-party materials or opinions. I cannot guarantee the accuracy of the information contained in the third-party material. Presentation of such third-party material is simply used as a tool for educational purposes. All trademarks appearing in this guide are the property of their respective owners. So this is going to be the start of my Google Home journey. Gary Vee is quoted as stating, "Document, don't create." So instead of creating content, I'm going to document the journey of actually going through the Google Home education, going through the different information available regarding Google Home in order for me to create my own action that can be used in the actual Google Home device. So you're going to see my journey from having absolutely no idea of how to develop any Google actions, and I'm going to share with you my journey of how I'm going to be going through the process from start to finish, and hopefully this can help some of you out there who are also considering learning new skills that can help you in the future, because Google Home is definitely going to be something that's going to be used more widely. Google is such a great company that offers so much value, and that's definitely something that I'm passionate about. I love Google products, and I do think Google has a great way of improving our lives by generating either new products, devices, or applications that can help us. So this is what inspired me to do some research in terms of the actual Google Home system. I was watching this video. This is Daily V 261, and in this episode you'll see Gary Vee talk about Alexa voice.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why you don't delete Snapchat. That's why you get good at things. That's why, Alexa, play my daily briefs.
Here's your flash briefing. From Gary Vee 365.
Am I watching the patterns of 14-year-old teenagers who...
That exists. Alexa, stop. That exists because I know that's the next landscape of attention. And so I already know that voice is the next social media, and that's why I have a top 100 podcast, and that's why I have an Alexa Flash already.
It's hard to think like that, though.
It's very hard, but that's why good things happen to me, right? Like, that's, like, everything that's good is hard.
Well, that's true.
You know what I mean? Like nobody's winning. You're not winning because you're winning because you did something nobody else is willing to do. Good.
So those short snippets from Gary Vee's daily vlog inspired me to do a little bit of homework in terms of the Google Home system and device. Alexa Voice is one device that provides users with that capability in terms of using voice to generate certain results based on what the user has actually asked. So as you saw, Gary Vee in the actual video spoke about how voice is going to become the next big thing in terms of social media, because people are wanting to save time by using devices such as Alexa Voice or the Google Home. So I'm going to be focusing on trying to learn more about how do we actually develop these Google actions. So I did some research. So having searched for some information, I was taken to this page, which is the Actions on Google page, which is the developers.google.com/actions. And I actually noticed that there's a Join the Actions on Google Developer Challenge to win a trip to the Google I/O 2018 That's obviously a presentation or a conference that's going to be happening next year, and there are other prizes as well. They obviously say engage users through the Google Assistant. Actions on Google lets you build apps for the Google Assistant. Your apps can help you engage users through Google Home, eligible Android phones, iPhones, and in the future through every experience where the Google Assistant is available. So that was something that I picked up on, and when I clicked into that link, this is where I went through. It said join the Actions on Google Developer Challenge. You're obviously going to have to create actions that have to be submitted before the 31st of August. So I'm going to be starting with this today, which you can see today is currently Saturday, July 8th. It's about half an hour after midnight. Today's date is the 8th of July. So I'm going to be trying my best to learn as much as possible about the Google Home device, and I'm going to be applying it to a scenario whereby I'm going to try create my own action and see if I can maybe submit this as part of this competition as well. It would be great to have an opportunity to possibly win such a great prize, to actually go to Google and see everything firsthand at the 2018 conference, which would be fantastic. So I'm going to definitely try my best and see how I can do going forward. So currently I'm on the Actions Google page. I'm looking for more information. Build an app in 30 minutes. Go to the Actions console. Learning about the platform and start building. Getting started. This guide shows how to import and run a simple facts about Google app that lets you learn about some cool facts about Google. It also has a fun cat facts Easter eggs that shows more advanced features. API. Okay. To build and deploy this app, you're going through the following steps: create an Actions project and API.AI agent. An Actions project defines metadata about your app and lets you track your app through the approval process. An API.AI agent defines intents that map what users can say to its corresponding response, which is returned by fulfillment. Deploy the fulfillment Firebase function that possesses the API.AI agent's intents. When users say something that triggers the intents, preview the app. Right, so that's information there. Building assistant apps on Google. I'll definitely consider watching this video. But here we've got welcome to Actions on Google. Actions on Google is a platform for developers to extend the Google Assistant. Join this emerging ecosystem by developing actions to engage users on Google Home, Pixel, and the device. Okay, so documentation, sample code, API reference, your projects with an assistant app, add or import a project. Okay, going back to this, reach users right where they need you. Okay, so that's what the Google Assistant does. Monetize your apps with frictionless transactions. Learn how to design and build engaging experiences. Develop with easy-to-use tools. Create intelligent experiences on Google Assistant using one of the many development and analytical tools that are compatible with Actions on Google. Okay, so we can explore the tools, build actions on Google. Great. Okay, so that's information. I think the best thing to do now would be to actually go and watch these videos and see if there's anything interesting or valuable in terms of actually learning how to create these different actions. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. So I've watched the video and they've indicated that I need to start an actions project. So I went to the console.actions.google.com website and I clicked the square box that said add a project. I gave my project the name Accounting Assistant. I'm then choosing the API.AI option. After having clicked onto that, it opened up API.AI and we have Accounting Assistant here. I'm going to be saving this now. description. Okay, describe your agent, accounting assistant. So now I've created that. I'm now looking at intents here. Default fallback intent, default welcome intent. Okay, so this is the default welcome intent. User says events welcome, action input welcome. The response hi. Okay, so text response hi, hello. So user says okay, so the user says all these different things. Hello, hi, hey. Events welcome, action input welcome, required new parameter action response, add message content, text response custom. Okay, so if the user says hi, they say hello. Okay, hello, hi. Okay, so text response.
Intents and entities are two main concepts important to creating interaction scenarios they want, but they should all resolve to one type of response, determined by a single intent. A conversation will be made up of many back and forth turns in a welcome event. Let's get rid of some of these pre-made greetings and specify our own. Some prompts should be a reflection of your app's slot-filling parameters required for business logic. And then there are developer entities. Facts about Google should know two categories of facts: history, which might also be termed past, and headquarters, or HQ. Once I'm all done, I'll have something like this. Next, I'll create an intent for the use case that our assistant app will support, telling a fact. Let's create the intent tell_fact. Then, as I'm adding new examples, you can more variations of such requests. Phrase. Down here, I'll name the action parameter, but you can have prompts for each parameter to add variation. Our prompt will be something like,
resource, item, asset, synonyms. Asset. What other synonyms do you get for assets? Counting wise, resource, merit, no, property, estate holdings, possessions. What is a possession? Maybe possession. What is a possession? What is a resource? What is a property? What is a property? Property. What is a good? What is a valuable? And that's entity name. Let that you contain the following underscore. Okay, so this will be asset. This was history. Okay, so facts. Okay, so if we're looking at an entity, the fact. Okay, different facts. Okay, alright, so different facts. So that means that if I'm looking at the API, this should be accounting elements. Counting underscore elements. Save. Alright, then I'll have asset, then I'll have liability. Income, expense, capital, drawings, liability, loan, liability, obligation, income, expense, internet synonym. Okay, so liability, liability would be hindrance, burden, handicap, nuisance, inconvenience. Assets and liabilities. Debt. Yeah, debt is a good one. Obligation, debt. Obligation, debt. Obligation, debt. Income, income, income. Income, money received, earnings. Earnings, salary, pay, remuneration. Earnings, salary, pay. Earnings, salary. Oh, be careful. Salary could be an expense, so earnings, income, that could be right here. Expense. Expense definition. Expense synonym. Outgoing payment, outlay. Outlay. Disbursement. Outlay, disbursement. Expenditure, charge. Expenditure. Charge. Bill, overhead. That's income. Income synonym. Income synonym. Income synonym. No. Okay, so that's that. Capital. Owner's equity. Owner's equity. Owner's equity. Save. Asset element. So that's the intent. Counting elements. Asset element, that's not the asset element, this will be, what is the definition of an asset? That's the intent. So they're stating what something is, and then it would pull the information. So what is an asset? It gives the definition. Possession. Sorry, I didn't get that. Okay, possession. Possession, because that needs to be part of it. Okay, let's go back and just see what was that again.
Or HQ. Once I'm all done, I'll have something like this. Next, I'll create an intent for the use case that our assistant app will support, telling a fact. Let's create the intent tell_fact, then add a few examples of how the user may ask to hear a fact. We are expecting the user to respond to the prompt given in the welcome intent, or possibly ask us for a fact after they've already heard one. So they might say something as simple as history, or something more complicated like, I'd love to hear something about Google's history. As I'm adding new examples, you can see how they're automatically annotated with the fact category entity. This means the user can provide the entity value directly in the phrase used to trigger this intent. We can change the annotation, the names of parameters, and the entities to fit our use case. API.AI will learn from the annotated examples and entities to understand more.
Okay, so that means, so the intent is asking for something specific. So what is the asset definition? And then that means that in terms of entities, in the entities, asset is here. So the intent counting element. Okay, so that means that save entities, the intent. So it's a very specific response. Intent is things that I want to ask. So if I ask accounting assistant, entities, training, integrations, web demo, analytics, performance, your web service will receive a post request, webhook, that's a webhook, so that's going to bring information through. Okay, asset element. Asset element, what is the asset definition? It user says assets. Okay, so default fallback, that means if they don't know something, so it's a welcome, hello. Okay,
More variations of such requests. Let's add a few more examples interesting about Google's past. And immediately we get the simple response generated from our webhook. This is one of the coolest things about API.AI. It's machine learning, training like, come back tomorrow for a new fact. See you next time. It out. And voice context. First, I'll head to the integrations page and click into the Actions on Google settings. Then I'll click Test to prepare my app for testing. I can jump over to the Actions on Google console to test it out. First, I'll invoke it with Talk to my test app. Then I'll try a simple phrase like, history please. Before triggering the next intent, let's change the simulated device to phone, and then say,
okay, so I need to change integrations, actions on Google, updates and publisher. Test how because you can test in the action simulator that you sign into, update and publish your update test. Come on, test. Oh, action simulator. Alright, there we go. Test status inactive. Your app must have at least one action to test. Testing. Talk to the accounting assistant.
Please turn on voice and audio activity, web and app activity, and device information permissions for your Google account.